Hey Dustin, how you doing today?
Hey, doing great.
So let's just dive right into it. You're performing for the virtual iHeart Country Festival this year. What are you most looking forward to about doing this?
Yeah, I think for the virtual iArt Fest, just connecting with my band again. I've missed those guys. They're my brothers. They're my lifeblood. And it's playing music on stage together is what we've known the last decade, literally multiple days a week for those 10 years. So to get back on stage and crank the guitars and the drums, man, and just get on that wavelength and ride again together is what I most look forward to.
That sounds awesome. What are you looking forward to bringing forward for the fans? Like, what can they expect out of something like this?
Yeah, bringing new music to the fans. And this year's been kind of crazy because we usually get to perform all year long while one of our songs is climbing the chart. And this year, Mama's House has been climbing the chart, and we haven't really got to play. So playing Mama's House for the first time for a lot of people um, is unique. And honestly, we haven't had a lot of practice at it. We played, I think, 10 shows before we were told to go home this year. So it's uh it's going to be fun to bring Mama's House to everybody's ears and eyes and let them hear that live interpretation of that song.
So, what's the energy like? You were mentioning a little bit about you get back up there with your band. What's it like doing one of these virtual shows? Have you gotten to do anything with the full band, or has it just been like solo acoustic stuff? Or
Yeah, this is really kind of our first full band virtual experience. We have done some acoustic things, and I've done a lot of stuff from the bar in my basement. It's kind of been my home studio there, but this will be our first real kind of fully plugged in um, rock and roll type of full octane virtual thing. So yeah, just playing to an empty room is an interesting experience. Um, but I know that we've got a lot of eyeballs watching through those camera lenses. So that's how we're connecting with everybody.
that sounds great. Can you talk a little bit about the support that you've received from iHeartRadio and country radio in general over the years? What's that been like for you?
Well, iHeart really got the ball rolling for me, and was a shot in the arm back with where it's at. I was an on the Verge artist, one of the very first, believe it or not, with that song, and it was the first time. Um, Whenever that happened, when On the Verge happened, it was the first time that life felt a little bit out of control because the song exploded so fast.
Yeah.
Um, I go back to we're constantly on tour, but I go back to there's this particular van ride from the venue to a gym. I think it was a YMCA up in Pennsylvania, I believe it was, and I remember hearing the imaging for uh, on the Verge artist Dustin Lynch, and at this point, I wasn't really that used to hearing my name on the radio, and I was like, man, what is this? And we heard it nonstop for whatever reason, and I just go back to I remember looking out across this gorge and I was like, man, how is this real life? This feels like, it's kind of, we had success already at radio, but that moment felt like um, it was a new game and it definitely became one pretty quickly for us.
That's that's awesome. That's everyone's got those memories of the first few times that you've heard yourself or heard your name. Have you been working on any new music? When can we expect to hear anything new?
Yeah, I have been. I've taken this time at home to really try and stay creative. That's really the only thing I can do right now is create new music and write. And so being in Nashville and kind of stuck in Nashville for the most of the year here, um, I'm getting to write with a lot of folks that maybe don't get to come out on tour. I like to ride on tour a lot, and have guys and girls out on the bus there. But there's a lot of folks that like to stay home. They've got a bunch of kids to take care of, and I get that. So I've been getting to write with them, and we've been writing a lot of great music, and actually gone into the studio and recorded a couple times. And new music is just around the corner, believe it or not. I just can't take it. It's like we got to do something. So we recorded, the songs we were excited about, and some that I even wrote last year on tour with Thomas Rhett, believe it or not. So
Oh,
yeah, we've
awesome.
been even though we released Telehoma in January of this year, um, it's like, well, why not? We're doing nothing else. Let's go in and record some new music. So stay tuned on that.
Definitely excited on that one. So it sounds like you've been in the studio, been working with people. What's it been like working through quarantine? Have you found it easier? Has there been any kind of silver linings to that?
Yeah, I think the silver lining of quarantine is I'm getting a lot more sleep. It's easier to eat whenever you're at home. There's no excuse, right? Kitchen's right there. So y- I think that would be, as far as just it's funny to even hear myself say that, but it is kind of that's a challenging thing when we're on tour is good sleep and good food, and kind of a regular diet of 3 meals a day is tough to. I mean, you got to work at it. So no excuse there. I mean, I feel like I'm well fed this year, uh, and yeah, I think as far as creating goes, that allows for um, a lot more balanced. You know, I guess mental game. When it comes to showing up for work and the Zoom, we've been writing over Zoom a little bit, so that's been cool to really get to connect in different parts of the country too. I was able to go down with a couple friends to the beach and still have co-writes, and with people back in Nashville. That was kind of cool just to write in a different setting like that for me. So, um, and I will speak more on that. I think this has allowed us writers to realize, hey, we don't have to be in person to make music. We've had success this year writing via Zoom and still creating a little bit of magic that way. So I think it allows us to spend a little bit more time with our families, um, and at least it's shown us that it's possible.
Well, that sounds great. That's about all I had for you today.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.